Hi guys, Rachel here from tastingroom.com. We're here in the beautiful wine room in downtown Palo Alto, California, and we're here today to talk about something very important in the world of wine tasting. Before we start though, let's talk about the difference between wine drinking and wine tasting. The main difference between the two is that wine drinking is a passive activity, whereas wine tasting is active. Now that doesn't mean it needs to be stiff or formal. The only reason we're actively tasting wine is because we're building a sensory memory. Now that word sounds fancy, but you actually do it every day. Think of a food you love. For me, it's mushrooms. I love the way they taste, I love the way they smell, and I love their texture. Bell peppers, well, not as much. And it's for the same reasons: smell, taste, and texture. Now the reason I can tell you that I love mushrooms and bell peppers without them in front of me is because of sensory memory. Got it? Great. So let's move on to wine tasting. There are 4 basic steps, and that is sight, smell, taste, and assessment. Sight. All right, the first thing you're going to do is hold your wine against a white background. This can be a piece of paper or a tablecloth, whatever you have. You're going to look at it. How bright is it? Brightness has a lot to do with the acidity. Is it murky or is it clear? That'll tell you if it's filtered or not. And then look at the color. How deep is the color? That's going to tell you a lot about how old it is. You're going to want to pay close attention to the rim, which is the outside edge. Another thing you hear people say a lot is, oh my gosh, this wine has great legs. All right, so it does. But legs are really telling you about a wine's viscosity or thickness. It doesn't say anything about the quality. But great legs are great legs, right? So now we've looked at the wine. Let's smell it. First, take a whiff. Okay? Then, swirl it. Let the juices go a little bit. Smell it again. Don't be scared to get your nose all up in there. Different, right? All right. So, the point of smelling a wine is not to come up with the most obscure names in the world, like cat pee, wet wool, forest floor. The point of smelling a wine is for sensory memory. So use whatever words you want, as long as you use those same words again next time you taste wine. You're just trying to remember what you like and what you don't like. All right, we've looked at the wine, we've smelled it. Now for the fun part. Let's taste it. Take in a good sip of wine. You want to give all your taste buds some lovin'. All right. So the easiest thing to notice is going to be a wine sweetness. The other things are just as easy, but you just have to know how to look for them. Sourness is in the back of your cheeks, like sucking on a lemon. Bitterness stays with you the entire time. Tannin, or astringency, is going to dry out more of the front of your mouth. So if your mouth is completely dry even after you've swallowed the wine, you're drinking a tannic wine. Alcohol is going to make the wine seem hot. Alcohol and sugar also lead to the thickness of a wine. And finally, there's the finish. How long is the finish? A long finish can be a good thing or a not as good thing, depending on whether you like the wine. So now we're at the final step. This is the most important part. Did you like it? Let this question be entirely personal. Who cares what I think? Who cares what anyone thinks? It's all about you. Was this wine your mushroom or your bell pepper? That's what tastingroom.com is all about. We want you to discover the wines you like. Cheers! I like this one.